home straight, can we call Liam Scott Douglas of JG Cycles, and in the back straight, can we call Lewis Day RT23.
Similarly, in the home straight, Aaron Dick will be riding the gold medal ride-off, will be up against Callum Twelves in the back straight of Torres Fernando Marcello. So we will be resume racing in the next few minutes. We will start off with our pursuit finals, and then we will move on into our men's sprint semi-finals, match A. Then we will shortly be following that with the female Keirin final, and then the men's sprint semi-finals, match B. That looks to be a tasty affair in that female Keirin. We saw a great 500 competition earlier this morning. Nelly Stone taking the win for Lucy Cran to South West Ham. And in our main sprint semi-finals, we have Lyle Craig. Lyle already breaking that Scottish Championship records in the flag tournament this morning, the sprint qualification. He'll be up against Isaac Small of Deeside Thistle. And then in our B, in our second heat, we'll have William of Glasgow Racing against Ryan,
the master of the apprentice, Ryan Labour of SES Racing. Those riders are 200ths of a second between each other in sprint qualification. So it's going to be a fantastic race in some of those sprint semi-finals. But coming up first, we've got our men's individual pursuit finals. So can I call Lewis Day over to the back straight and Liam Douglas to the home straight, please? Liam Douglas of JG Cycles, John Porter Cycles, in the home straight, qualified third earlier, using that fantastic rear disc with a lion mount on it. Liam last night in a bronze medal in the men's team sprint. Can he add another bronze medal to his collection? And Liam Douglas will add to his already hefty collection at the Scottish Championships this year, with second in Madison. Gold in the Omnium. He is our current Omnium Scottish champion, and he is looking to add to that medal tally in this bronze medal ride-off. But he's got a tough contender in the form of Lewis Day, the Aberdeen man. He's speaking Dork all the track 4 kilometres here. can't say I know that much about Lewis to give him commentary, but I'm sure he can get more ready for next year's Scottish Champs. Hear the roar of the derby getting warmed up. We have our Williams Keirin coming up later on. Yeah, a lot of races now opting for e-bikes, but don't you worry, at Glasgow we are absolute lovers of a two-stroke engine. The taste, the smell, we get everything. And actually on the 21st of January we are going to be bringing Glasgow's first ever Dairy Fest to Glasgow. We'll have some dairy racing for any endurance riders. Everyone wants to find out more details, come and grab it. Entries are currently open, and we will be bringing some dairy pilots up to Glasgow for the Dairy Fest. That's the 21st of January, so you can put on as big a gear as you like, chase a dairy round for 80 laps, and hopefully win at the end of the race. Always great fun to watch the dairy race, always great fun to race. Maybe not always fun to listen to, we've got 8 dairies in the track, but I'm sure you can all look forward to that coming up in January. But first we are back into this weekend of racing, and we begin our afternoon session with our men's pursuit bronze medal ride-off. We had a slight delay there, slight mechanical delay in Scott Douglas, so that now means that you do not get a second chance. You get one false start or one issue, breakage of the bike, but if that happens a second time round, doesn't matter, it doesn't count. If you're the one who's had to false start, fall, whatever, you don't get back on. That is the race done and dusted. In my interpretation of the rules. Obviously, steering out and making sure that I'm right on that one. And we are underway with Scott Douglas here in the home straight. Lewis Day in the back straight. This is going to be a titanic duel for this bronze medal today. Scott Douglas qualified earlier this morning with 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Lewis Day with 4 minutes and 41 seconds. And we see Scott Douglas is already up on Day. He is pouring the time into 2.1 seconds in the lead. Already just as we come into 2 laps in. Douglas is flying out of this loss. He is now up to 2.7 seconds. He's gaining 0.6 of a second every half lap here. Is he maybe going for a catch? Or is he maybe just trying to find more from his time this morning? 3.3 seconds the gap now. We come 3 laps into this race. But remember, this is a 4-kilometre event. This is not just over 3 laps. 16 laps of the track. A lot can happen in this time. Douglas still in the sense he has now got Lewis Day in his sight. That often sometimes gives a psychological advantage. It means the rider can pull a little bit more out of himself. Can they find things a bit deeper? Can they find more speed when it comes to the race? And he's pulling out an even bigger gap. He's gaining on Lewis Day. Lewis Day though looks to be the pick here. Maybe he's just starting to wind up the pace here. But Douglas looks to be in the driving seat in the early stages of this race. Douglas now really starting to pour on his feet. He is almost now for 5 seconds. He only qualified about 2 seconds quicker than Day this morning, but it's all to play for in this final. The final doesn't matter about the time, it's just who beats who. Oh, that gap's now starting to come in, 4.9 seconds. Douglas now looking intent, maybe he's going to pay the cost of that fast start there. Can Dave start to eke out more time? He's starting 4.6. He's starting to pull himself back into this race. We're almost halfway through this 4-kilometre final. 4.3 seconds. That gap's coming down. Lewis Day looks to be fighting his way back into this race. Scott there, Douglas was smart with a really strong start, but that might win out to our 3.9 seconds. Day is now fighting his way back into this race. Who can be the one to hang on? As we come through now, 3.5 seconds. The gap is now starting to stabilise. Day now maybe seems to be tiring, but Douglas is fighting back up. We see it's now coming up, and it's down again, 2.9 seconds. This race is going to go right to the wire here. As we see just over 6 laps to go, 6.5 laps to go this time. 2.3 seconds the gap now. 1.7 seconds. Wow, Lewis Day is absolutely flying into this gap now. Yep, and this gap is coming down. Lewis Day here looks to have really backed up a rifle this morning. He's now coming back in. It's going to be really tight here. As we see, we're just over kilometres, go 8/10 of a second. Scott Douglas was over 5 seconds of lead, but he looks to really be tiring. Can he hang on to this lead? And now down to just under half a second. They'll come in this time, they'll see 4 laps to go, 1 kilometre to go. Can Douglas hang on? But Day now looks so tiring. And we're now down to a 10. We might have a new leader in this next half lap split. It's Lewis Day now with a pull in. He now supports him to position for the bronze medal. And he does. He is for the first time in this race. He is now up. He is 2/10 of a second up. Douglas now really fighting, really scrapping. He's now down to 8/10 of a second. Day now is really wanting to be back into this race. A really controlled ride here. And he's now 1.6 seconds. This race now, what looks to be an all Douglas affair is now this Day's affair. What Day's having? 2.4 seconds. Can he hang on? Or is it just going to be Lewis Day? Is that gap coming out or is it going to be further? Wow, 0.6 seconds in the lead now. 1 lap to go for Lewis Day. Looks like he's going to be the rider to take the bronze medal here. Douglas went out really hard, really hoping. Just see that scrap now coming into it. Lewis Day powers a big here as he comes into the last half lap. He's way ahead. He's coming through, comes into the back straight. Lewis Day takes the bronze medal at a time of 4:41.882. Wow, what a ride. Lewis Day and Douglas there, 4:48.9. Just saw that up there. Lewis Day, he backed up in just a second away. He only lost 8/10 of a second in the ride. Whereas Douglas, almost 10 seconds difference from his ride this morning to his ride this afternoon. That's sometimes where we see the pacing is so important. The ability to not go out too hard and then close, but boy do we love to see it. It makes a much more exciting career when we get someone going out like him. A great effort there from Dean Scott Douglas, but Lewis Day ultimately takes the bronze medal in the Scottish Senior Men's 3 kilometres individual pursuit. Great ride there from Lewis. While we move on, we are now into our men's gold medal final in this men's individual pursuit. In the home straight, we have Aaron Dick, and in the back straight, we have Callum Twelves. Who is going to be our Scottish men's individual pursuit champion? Alexander Craig, we were champion last year, but he is not here, so we're going to have a new champion here. Both of these riders were in 4:35, it was a 10th of a second separating them in their qualification ride, so this looks like a race that could go right down to the wire. There looks to have got a better start. Comes out the blocks, yeah, he's already up a marathon, not a sprint. Don't really use that out for it's actually quite short effort. But it's still just how well they hold the position. When you're talking about 10 over 4,000 metres, that could be one bend where they lose the flat line. That could be one straight where they pop their head up. That could be one just small moment which can make all the difference in this event here. And we're seeing now as well pulling down at 200 per second. This is a much more tense affair here this afternoon in this gold medal ride-off in the men's 4 kilometre individual pursuit. And now 12 pulls into the lead. It's only 400ths of a second, but he is just edging himself ahead in this race. 800ths of a second. He is pulling out a tiny margin every half lap. But all to play for us again. And it's now up to a 10th to Keirin halfway through. He finds something in the second half of this race. He's starting to get the ball. His form's starting to pull up. 3/10 of a second. That now seems to be going up. This might actually be now in favour of 12. 12's looking really solid here. You see his form on the bike. He's barely moving the next position. Aerodynamically, that makes a huge difference. So Keirin needs to set that around again. Get into his pace. He's held to half a second behind. Bike he's shown this morning that he can build. He might be able to pull something back. All 5 fastest. Come 1,500 metres to go this time. We're back to the start positions. Now up to just over half a second. 0.584 of a second to the lead. That 12 has been set. And that gap's just slowly eking out a little extra half lap. What we've seen, you know, in riders like Podium, the Italian world. Last round, so we might see a bit of a comeback here from Keirin in the 5 kilometre. But 12 though looks really strong. 12 looks to have the form of this field. He's got all the kit, he's got it all there, and can he bring the legs, can he bring the power out here? And he's now up to a second in the lead. 1 kilometre to go. He is over a second in the lead, and that gap now seems to be growing. 1.2 seconds is the gap. So Cal 12 looks to me that he might be the Scottish track champion for the 4 kilometre men's individual pursuit. 1.4 seconds, this looks to be going all the way to 12. Keirin just starting to lose the sport. Well, walking in fight, can he be the one? Can he maybe mentally just stick out the last 500 metres? Maybe try and break the 12s here. But doesn't look that way. 2 seconds the gap. 2 seconds, that gap is going out. And looks like we're going to see a fantastic ride from Cal 12. 4 minutes 10 as he comes through 360.5 metre mark. As we hear 1 lap to go. 12 comes through, 4:19. This looks to be a really strong. It doesn't seem to be backing up the same way this morning. 2.7 seconds behind Aaron. This is all going to be barring disaster the way of Cal 12s. We are going to have a brand new Scottish men's individual pursuit champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Cal 12s, your 2023 Scottish individual men's pursuit champion. What a ride, 4 minutes and 35.730. Wow, what a race we saw in both of those rides. A fantastic ride there for Boris Day to take the bronze medal. Aaron Dick, silver medal in time of 4 minutes and 39. And our champion, Callum 12s, in a time of 4 minutes and 35 seconds, 0.730. An average speed of 52 kilometres an hour from a standing start. What do you think of that race, Georgia?
So good to watch that. Just 12s eking it out towards the end and then pulling again.
Yeah, they can really just hit the 12 back and forth. Again, this is where pursuit's not just about who's the fastest, it's who else can back up, who can back up the rise through the day. As we're just about to see that importance really come through in this men's sprint semi-finals. So we move on into our men's sprint semi-finals. Heat 1, we will see our team sprint champion from last night, Lyle Craig, in Heat 1 against Isaac Small, silver medalist in the team sprint last night. Small racing for D-Side Thistle, Craig racing for Glasgow Track Racing. This is a best of 3 final, so we will see these riders come back again, and you have to win 2 heats to progress. It's best of 3, you have to win 2 heats to progress to the final, which adds an extra little bit of drama 30 seconds in a match sprint.
And why would we see big tracks done, Johnny?
We used to see a lot. Lyle Craig will roll backwards and he's now back into one. Isaac Small opting for second position. Either riders here wanting to take the front. Glasgow as a track, it has quite a late finish line, so quite often you'll see riders opting to take second. Wow, do we have some sprint talent in the building right now?
Oh yeah, in the crowd.
Champion in the stands with Lewis Stewart. Yeah, but anyway, right back on track. Craig still in the lead. This race still not getting going, still quite slow. Small not really wanting to put any pace into the race. Craig just happy to keep his eyes on it. And now he pulls it back down to the black. Maybe want to defend that inside. As Craig now starts to wind up his speed, controlling the race. But Small now takes the inside, the race looks on. Craig now having to get on terms. Small now punches off the front. Can Craig get back on terms? He looks to sustain this gap. He's on a big up here as he comes in. 1 lap to go. It's Isaac Small on the front now. Lyle Craig looks to be chasing. Small powering away. But here comes Craig. Here comes Craig. He's powering into that gap. Is he going to get there? He comes up onto the hip as we come into the home straight. It looks to be Craig who'll get the win here as he comes round for a comfortable victory. Wow. That was alright, that wasn't it?
That just starts us off really well in that first heat. Craig taking that over Smalls. Next up is our second heat of Ryan Lakewood and Will Monday.
Yeah, basically 3 goals, so now it's up to Isaac Small. He threw a bit of a kitchen sink. Can he throw the rest of the cupboards and all the dishes and his bath as well? What can he do in between these races? He really took a great opportunity there, took advantage maybe of a little slight hesitation of Lyle Craig. But you can see just the power of Lyle Craig really just pulled that back. But now we move on to this is going to be a really tight and testy affair. William Monday of Glasgow Track Racing Club, Ryan Lakewood, SES Racing. Solid in seconds, that's what it stands for. Ryan Lakewood, we've already seen him in that pursuit. Is that extra right in that pursuit going to be hurting here in his legs? Is he still breathing? Nah, that's alright.
And they were pushing him right up to the track there. Mind games will start before the race is even started.
200, so the second separated these riders in qualifying. Important season tight racing here. That last race was a corker, and this will go even better. Monday, the inside, the British Junior Keirin champion. Ryan Lakewood, the British Masters champion in a million events. He's quite good.
Monday was keeping his eyes right on Ryan there, not taking a look away.
Yeah, another slow affair if you've ever seen between these riders. The roar of Derry in our little cycling going. Roachne hasn't lost the smell of the 2-stroke engine, but we were eyes focused right on this sprint right now. As well, Monday not wanting to take his eyes off Lakewood. Lakewood now starting to just move around the track a bit. Again, sometimes in these best of threes, you maybe want to just test your opponent. You're seeing what sort of things they respond to. If I move up, do they move down? Do they move up to me? You know, you're trying to find kinks and chinks in the armour. Lakewood now starting to hit. Is he maybe going to find an inside? Monday is not, but here's an inside. Lakewood looks to take it, but Monday closed the door and the race is back on. Lakewood now still just maybe trying to find that inside. But Monday now, is he going to get pulled up again? Lakewood just hunting for that inside. Monday though, just as he now pushes down onto the line, Lakewood now tries to punch around the outside. He goes right up to the fence. Monday now, is Lakewood going to find that inside now? But Monday closes the door and he's powering on the black line. Lakewood trying to get around the outside, doesn't really have any space to get into. Monday really connected down the saddle as he comes out in turn 3. And Lakewood now, can he finally charge to get around the hip on the outside? But it looks to be Monday in a time of 10.900. A really strong, powerful ride there from Will Monday, using his strength. Saw a little bit more from him than maybe saw qualifying. Great ride there from William Monday. What do you think, Gene?
Oh, wow. Ryan just could not get past Will there just couldn't find the space to race after being stuck on the wheel. And then as soon as you're not past the hip in these last 2 turns, there's not much to come back from sometimes.
Yeah, we just saw he was just trying to decide that maybe it wasn't there, but again, we'll come back into the next race a week later from the next round. We've seen these riders get drawn in also be rounds. We have Keirin in 1 and Monday in 2, and I can't believe that we have Isaac Small in 1 and Lil Craig in 2. So we are, it's currently GTRC, both riders are 1 up in our men's sprint semi-finals, but we move on. We next have our women's Keirin final.
Yeah, it's going to be a straight final. 6-lap race. 3 laps behind Denny, just going around now.
Always you can't touch it, we're doing alright.
Yeah, you don't want to touch that bit. We'll have 6 riders, and then after the Derny peels off in that 3rd lap, we've got 3 laps of full gas racing, and you'll see riders chopping and changing their positions, trying to get the best position so that when they can be there ready to pounce as well and win the Scottish Championship, the women's Keirin.
Yeah, we've seen some great Keirin races in the Scottish Championships over the years. A famous victory with Lewis Stewart in the 2018 edition as he confounded inside the last corner.
So is that the live feed mic there? Can I borrow Kitty the chair? How do I mute it? Just turn it off. So there wasn't.
Fantastic standing lap, so she might really open up this race as well. And we'll see how they line up in this Keirin final. We have 6 riders, they have drawn lots as to where they line up, which always does affect the time. Where is someone else at? Where else is who's the favourite in this race? Where are they in relation to me? So on the inside, in the red, we have Kirsty Johnson. In second, under the inside, we have Christina Smith for Glasgow Track Racing Club. In third, we have Ellie Stowe of Blacklight. In fourth, Sylvia Mistal of Glasgow Track Racing Club. In 5, Lucy Cran of Peoples. And 6, Aaron Silver.
We are about to go live with the female Keirin's finals here on this Scottish Cycling Track Championships. So we see the Derny just coming round at turn 4. They'll be racing soon just as he passes them. And they're off and they'll all drop into line behind him. Led out there by rider 54, Kirsty Johnson. And with 3 laps to go, the Derny pulls off and we are racing. Rider 54, Kirsty Johnston, still out the front. We're picking up the pace now. Kirsty's overhauled there. No, she's hanging on. Madeline Silcock leading out now. So they come round and they take the bell. Rider 91 still out the front. Rider 43, Lucy Grant, coming around the side. And that was rider 54, Kirsty Johnson, first over the line. She led out the entire race. She fell back a few places with a couple of laps to go. Worked her way cleverly through the bunch and is now the Scottish Women's Keirin champion, with Ellie Stone taking silver and Sylvia Mistal in bronze. And we're waiting for a photo finish for third place at this point. Sylvia Mistal and Madeline Silcock. The judges in the box will be running and rerunning that video of them crossing the finish line to try and work out who of them came first. Obviously it matters because there's a medal at stake. And there we have it. Sylvia Mistal in third place from Madeline Silcock in fourth. So, gold, Kirsty Johnson; silver, Ellie Stone; bronze, Sylvia Mistal. So about to get underway with this men's sprint match B. Will Mundy and Ryan Lateward. And the starter gives them the whistle and they are off. 3 laps to go. So they're watching each other closely, but they're not going super slow. Ryan Lateward picking it up here. Will Mundy moving up the track there. So if they carry on getting faster like this, it's going to be fast right from the off. Oh. Yeah, that was a hard move there. Will Mundy forcing Ryan Lateward up the track. Ryan Lateward starting to pick up some pace here. No. They're not full gas sprinting yet, but they're going to come. They're still watching each other. They're going to come round and take the bell. So Will Mundy closing that gap on Ryan Lateward. On turn 3, he starts to come past them. Oh, he's right on his shoulder. This is going to be really close to the line, and oh, that's a photo finish. That's a photo finish. So the judges just upstairs from me will be going over the tape. So there we are. The judges have given it to Will Mundy in first place from Ryan Lateward. So coming up onto the track now is Para 1 kilometre time trial. Cormac O'Callaghan. They're just loading his bike into the gates just now. And the starter's happy, so Cormac's coming up. So the starter's waving for the countdown to begin. And Cormac's away clean. He'll take a lap or so to get up to speed. And then it's just a matter of coping with the pain for another 3 laps after that. So that first lap, which will of course be his slowest lap, he was back in 30 seconds. And about 21 seconds for his second lap, so he'll want to be consistent about that pace for the remaining 2 laps. Lap and a half to go. So Cormac comes round and take the bell, 250 metres left. And he's coming up to the line. He's going to stop the clock in a time of 1:35. So he was about 30 seconds for his first lap, about a minute for his last 3 laps, so pretty consistently around about 20 odd seconds for his 3 full speed laps. Our next rider in the para kilo is Callum Du Bois. So Callum getting clipped in and a strap as well on his right leg just to avoid pulling. I saw him warming up earlier on. He was really going for it. If his race is anything like as intense as his warm-up was, he's going to be around there pretty fast. So, our first rider, Cormac O'Callaghan, was back from his first lap in about 30 seconds. And he was between 20 and 25 for his other 3. So let's see what Callum does. And he's cleanly away. So he was about 26 seconds for his first lap. He was behind our first rider at the first 125 metres, but he picked that all up by the time of the completion of the first 250 metres. He's well into his rhythm now. So he's put a further 6 seconds into our first rider. Still getting faster, put 7 seconds in now. So as he takes the bell, he's just over a minute. The head's starting to bob a bit. This is a really tough race. They really are in a bad place by the end of it. And as he comes up to the line, he's going to stop the clock in 1 minute and 23. What a remarkable, remarkable ride. And he's got time. He's still got energy left to wave to the crowd as he goes past. So the next rider in the para kilo is Wayne Harrod. So it sounds like he's clipped in. I can hear his cleats engaging from where I'm standing, just above the finish line. The starter's ready to go. The clock is ticking down. And he's away clean. A little bit hesitant at the start there, but he's away clean. So the first split we'll get at 125 metres. And, oh, he's hundredths of a second quicker. And he's starting to put some time into Callum after that first lap. He's up to speed now. He's almost up at half a second. And there we go. He's increasing his lead. He's heading for 3/4 of a second. He's starting to get faster. I'm not sure he's going to quite get to a second, but he's coming around here and taking the bell. Oh, he has. He's over a second. He's put a second into Callum Du Bois. Half a lap still to go. His head's not bobbing. He still looks composed. And at turn 4, you can see the finish line. The pain will be over soon, and he stops the clock at 1:21. 1 3/4 seconds faster than Callum Du Bois, puts him into first place. Wayne Harrod into first place in the kilo para kilo. So our next rider, Christopher Scott, is up on the track. He's clipped in. He's using bunch bars rather than the more aerodynamic pursuit bars that were used by our first 3 riders. And he's off, just a slight wobble at the start there, but he's quickly into his rhythm. That's a big gear to get on top of. Took him a long time to get his pace up. Let's see what it looks like after his first lap. And after the first lap, it's good. He's up well over 2 seconds on the previous leader, Wayne Harrod. He's still putting time in halfway through. He's now 3 seconds and 3/10 up on second place. And he's changed his line for the second half of the race. He's changed his line. He's gone much lower down in the banking. Really steep banking here in the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome. Hard to stay low in the turns, but he's been managing it here. He's coming in for the last time to cross the line, and he stops the clock at 15 and puts him well into first place in this Para Kilo Championship. So our next rider is Zach Connolly. I can see his bike being brought up. Zach choosing to use pursuit bars, give him a more aero position. And it looks like he's going to strap his feet in as well as just relying on his cleats. So Zach Connolly's helpers just strapping his feet in once he's clipped in, just to give him a little bit of insurance against pulling his foot when he starts. That's when they'll be putting a lot of power through those cranks and pedals, particularly on the upstroke. So the starter's happy, the countdown begins. Really straight start from Zach. Briefly down onto the Côte d'Azur. So he's onto his skis there at 125 metres. Some riders leave it a little bit longer, but he's obviously comfortable going in there quickly. Let's see what the split is after this first lap of 4. He's about 2 seconds behind our first place, Christopher Scott. And 4 seconds down on Christopher Scott, which just shows you what a great ride that was from Christopher Scott, because Zach is looking really comfortable and really aero. So there he goes, past the start of his last half a lap. It will all be over soon, Zach, don't worry about it. And he stops the clock at 1:24.130 for 4th place. Our last rider coming up onto the track now, Christopher Burns. Team just bringing the gate back up onto track. So Christopher Burns up on the track now, clipped in. The starter's just checking that he is ready to go, and he says he is. Very clean start. Moving quickly right from the off. So he sets the fastest time at the halfway mark in this first lap. He spent almost a whole lap on his base bars before he got into his aero position, but it's obviously working because he's putting in a really good time here. Although as we get into the hard part of this race, he's starting to lose a bit of time back to Christopher Scott. He's holding it at about 0.4 of a second. He's still got quite a long way to go, and it will feel like a long way to him. 250 metres doesn't feel like a long way, but it feels like a long way when you're hurting as much as Christopher Burns is. He takes the bell and he starts his last 250 metres with only 0.07 of a second of an advantage over second place. We'll get a final split at the last 125. And oh, he's gone behind, so Christopher Scott goes back into first place. Oh, a lot of work there. Second place in terms of times at 0.7 of a second back from Christopher Scott. So this is a factored event, so there'll be some calculations applied to the times before we find out who is the champion. So we know the fastest time. We know that Christopher Scott was fastest over the line, and we know that Christopher Burns was second fastest. But there are some calculations to be applied to the times before we get our gold, silver and bronze positions. Okay, we're on to our next para kilo event. It's the Tandem. Stoker here is Charlene Boyle. Okay, and the countdown underway for Charlene Boyle. Oh, and they're away. Tough event to get started, the Tandem. So a little bit of a wobble just as they were started, but by the time they came to turn 1, they were fully up to speed. First 125 meters. Oh, didn't get a split for that first 125. Let's see if we get a split for the first lap. So they were over the line in about 28 seconds there for their first lap. Really hard to get two bodies in that big bike fully up to speed. Let's see what the second lap was. If that first one was 28, this is less than 20. So they're coming around in less than 20 seconds a lap at this point. They're halfway through now. They're deep into their third lap and deep into some really unpleasant feelings in their legs and their backs. Okay, so they take the belt. 1 lap to go. I think that was 18 or 19 seconds. We're not getting splits here at the minute, but I think that was 18 or 19 seconds. 125 metres to go. A brilliant line they're taking all the way through this. They will really be hurting by now. They'll really be considering the life choices that have led them to this point. And here they come up to the line, and they will stop the clock at 1:28 or so. We're having a bit of a timing problem there, so we'll get the final result for that just in a few minutes. But about 1:28 for that first Tandem kilo ride. Our next athlete up will be Cheryl Bradshaw. Nope, apologies, Rachel Elliott. Rachel Elliott will be our next heat. So Rachel gets on, takes a position. I can hear her clipping in. Her pilot, Miriam Jessett, on there. Oh. So what's happened here is the helpers bring the bike up with the pedals in the position that the athletes like them to be at for the start. It allows them to put most power through the pedals for those first few strokes. And they are on there by just a few degrees. So they've moved their right-hand pedal from probably 7 o'clock on a clock face to about 8 o'clock. So not a big difference, but a big difference to them in terms of how they start off. So we're back on, we're clipped in. Starter Helen just checking they're both okay. She's happy, they're happy. So the countdown will start now. Really confident start there. You could see them pushing off completely in harmony, completely in sync. Taking a little while to find their line. By turn 3, they're up to speed. They're in between the red and the black lines. Onto their skis just as they finish their first lap, which was done in about 25 seconds, which was about the same as our first heat. I think this lap is going to be about 18 seconds, let's see. Quicker than that, probably about 17, so they are going super fast. So they take the bell for their final lap. They were just shy of a minute there. I think they'll probably be about 1:16 or thereabouts by the time they come across the line. Oh, no, I underestimated them. 1:15.341. That's a brilliant time for the guys. So our last heat in this tandem kilo is the stoker is Thomas Wing. He'll be piloted by Josh Dunham, who you can see putting the bike into the gate just now. That's one way of making sure your pedals are in the right place. You put the bike in yourself. So, Thomas Wing, the stoker, lifts himself onto the bike. So the pilot's happy, the stoker's happy, the starter is happy. And we'll be underway in 10 seconds or so. Perfectly synchronised as they set off. Huge amounts of power there as they set off. Good Lord. Straight up to the black line. In between turns 1 and 2. So there were 14 seconds for that first half lap and 23 seconds for the whole of that first lap. They're into a really aero position there. So halfway through, 38 seconds. And they're going to take the bell. Yeah, Thomas's head's starting to bob a little bit. They're in a really bad place just now. They're in a lot of pain. They're heading up for the finish line, and they stop the clock in 1:09.795. What a brilliant time. Brilliant time by Thomas Wing and Josh Dunham. So back to some male sprinting. This is our bronze medal ride-off. Ryan Lateward and Isaac Small. Isaac just getting pushed up onto the track there. So the starter confirms they're both happy. He'll blow his whistle and set them off. So Isaac drops in behind Ryan. So nobody wanting to take up any kind of position on the track. First 125 metres almost all on the Côte d'Azur. Nobody wanting to be doing any work at the front of this race. Isaac Small starting to put a bit of pressure on Ryan Lateward, starting to pick up. Ryan Lateward hasn't looked ahead of himself for a single moment on this track so far. He's done 375 metres looking behind himself. They're up on the track now. The pace is starting to pick up. Ryan trying to push Isaac up the track. Oh, is he going to be able to come underneath him? Isaac Small comes up. Oh! Ryan Lateward sees the risk, picks it right up. Ryan Lateward looks pretty relaxed, and it's going to be really close. That looked like Isaac Small first over the line there. a look up to the screen. It's a photo finish, so we're waiting to see who it was. So they were racing pretty hard there, but Isaac Small did look like he was spending a bit of time on the blue band at the bottom of the track once the sprint had started. So the judges will be looking pretty closely at that, which I suspect is why we're still seeing a photo finish up on the board. So it looks like the judges have given it to Ryan Lateward. So first in that heat, and the bronze medal goes to Ryan Lateward. We have our gold-silver match coming up onto the track now. And as they're both wearing the same kit, I'll need to wait till they're underneath me before I tell you which one is which. So the top of the track there is rider just on the track just now. At the top is rider number 19, Lyle Craig. And rider 37, Jeremy Franks. 77, and they are off. There was no messing about there. So much faster this race than the last one. These guys are teammates, they're friends, they know each other really, really well. They know each other's tricks. They've raced together hundreds of times against each other. So Will Mundy leading out as they take the bell from Lyle Craig. Lyle's going to have to do an awful lot of work to catch him up. And that gap is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But as they come through turn 4, they still haven't completely closed it. And it's a photo finish. I think that looked like Lyle Craig, but it's certainly going to be a photo finish. Yep. So looking up to the board has Lyle first over the line from Will Mundy, but they're still calling it a photo finish. So we just need to wait for the judges to have a bit of a look at that. And there we go. First and gold was Lyle Craig. Second and silver for Will Mundy. So the men's IP medal ceremony just now. In third place with bronze is Lewis Day. The medals are being presented by the chair of Scottish Cycling, John Watt. And in second place with the silver medal, Aaron Dick. And the gold medal after an absolutely phenomenal ride goes to Callum Twelves. And we're going to see all three of those riders again later in the day in the Open 30k points race. And now the medalists in the women's Keirin. Bronze, Sylvia Mistel. Silver goes to Ellie Stone. And gold for Kirsty Johnson. So quite a bit of racing still to go. We'll have a para women's TT. We'll have the men's 30 kilometre points race, the women's 10k scratch race, and of course the remaining heats of the men's sprints.
Individual pursuit winner. So how was that for you today?
Yeah, it was a bit weird actually. It's my first time doing a 4K IP in a race ever, so to do a decent ride in qualifying, but I knew that I had stuff left, but then only having 2 hours in between was it was difficult. But to back up 4:35 it's great.
Yeah, super strong ride in qualifying. But going into the final isn't what it could be. How area were you able to just that from the final?
I think from the training that I've done in the past couple of months, it's just been long hours on the road. So I knew that I'd got a little bit left from qualifying, that I could replicate it. But obviously, you always have in the back of your mind, maybe you won't have it, or maybe your legs will be really bad.
And we've seen you in the points race there?
Yeah, points race in about an hour, so it's a busy day.
20 laps forward.
Yes, 30k. Yeah.
Well, if it went as well as this morning, we'll certainly be speaking to you soon. So congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Joined by Kirsty Johnson. Kirsty? Kirsty, that was interesting. Keirin, was it not?
Yeah, interesting race.
It was, you know, we had a full on race shooting from the front.
And then the rules like there's no requirement in 15 minutes
Yeah,
between sprints.
I could kind of feel it all behind me. I was like, down 2-1.
The level of exertion how deeply go these sprints. They just need usually 15 minutes for the muscles to recover in between aircrafts.
Did you worry that they were going to be able to make it stick, or did you just confident that you could do that?
I think I was pretty confident I could get it. I wasn't quite on top of the gear, so I had more to push. I love gearing, so I was quite happy with how I rode.
So, medal last night, gold medal last night, gold medal today. Gold medal in sprint tomorrow?
well, we'll see. Yeah, I prefer the Keirin, it's more a stronger event, but we'll see how it goes. I'll give them my best anyway.
Well, congratulations once again.
Cool, thank you very much.
Races on this Scottish Track Championship 2023. We have our men's points race and our match race later on in the programme. We've had an amazing day so far. The women's Keirin coming down to full finish for third. The smash sprint races coming down to full finishes for bronze and gold. Now we go again into our second round of these races, and we are surefire going to get some maybe even closer racing. We might even see it go from these battles go to 3 in these titanic duels. We saw how close some of the racing already has been today. Loud Craig, of course, obviously taking that Scottish Championship record.
So we're at West Lothian Cycle Circuit. Today we've had a school that's come down to it. It's a closed floodlit cycling circuit, a brilliant facility, just around Kilometre in length. So it's perfect for the young people that are accessing the facility.
Rock Up and Ride is a Transport Scotland funded programme which brings in kids, teaches them the skills of how to ride a bike, and afterwards a free bike along with accessories to keep them safe and keep the bike safe as well.
I never had a bike in ages, and I'm excited to ride it at home with my friends because my friends all have a bike.
So Rock Up and Ride has been absolutely brilliant. It really has. As soon as I mentioned it to one of my schools, the school that's been here today, they've been very, very keen. They love the idea of it. They love the concept of it.
So I've improved in coordinated, slowing down. So I've improved like going faster as well. Definitely more confident now.
If they're able to learn to ride the bike at such a young age, hopefully that's a lifelong skill that they'll continue into adulthood. So the feedback's been phenomenal and they're absolutely buzzing to be getting their own bikes in the future.
So we are back with men's sprinting. This is our bronze medal race. This is the second heat. If you saw the first heat, you'll remember that Isaac Small was first over the line, but he was relegated for riding on the blue band during the sprint. Ryan Lateward was already sprinting. He was in the sprinter's box. And so they're away with Isaac Small out first. So in the last heat, Isaac was judged to have gained an advantage by riding on the blue band, so he was relegated. So if Ryan crosses the line first this time, he will take the bronze medal. Again, very cagey and slow, just like last time. Quite a lot of space between the two riders up on the track just now. Ryan Lateward moving quite aggressively towards Isaac, just to get inside his head, I think. He slows it down, he goes up the track. Oh, and we're racing with still a lap and a half to go, and Ryan Lateward has the advantage at this point from Isaac Small. 2 or 3 bike lengths there, and Isaac doesn't seem to be closing it. Half a lap to go. And Ryan Lateward is moving away from Isaac Small, and that's quite clear. Ryan Lateward first over the line from Isaac Small. And so the bronze medal goes to Ryan Lateward. So Lyle Craig and Will Mundy lining up for the second match in this gold and silver race. Lyle Craig won the first match, but they were quite closely matched. And they went off their first match at quite a pace. This time it's completely different. Slowing almost to a stop right at the start before they've even done half a lap. So they're starting to build up a bit of pace here. Still watching each other very, very closely. They're not fully racing yet. Lap and a half to go. Oh, Lyle Craig pushing Will Mundy right up the track. And they take the bell. They're both racing full gas. Mundy is closing the gap. Is it going to be close on the line? No. That was Lyle Craig. First over the line, although the board tells us it's a photo finish. Yes, there it is. Lyle Craig, first over the line, having won 2 of the 3 matches. He is the gold medal winner. From silver medal, Will Mundy. So we're going to have a slight break in the racing. We've got some victory ceremonies to do. The remaining races for the day are the Para 500 metres time trial, the Open 30k points race, and the 10k women's scratch race.
Rock Up and Ride is a Transport Scotland funded programme which brings in kids, teaches them the skills of how to ride a bike, and afterwards a free bike along with accessories to keep them safe and keep their bike safe as well.
Active travel is fun, and if we engage the kids in fun, practical education on bikes, all they're going to want to do is actually ride a bike to the shops, to school, just go out, have fun.
Without the Rock Up and Ride programme, we wouldn't have been able to give out 24 bikes and a adapted trike this summer. Not only has the Rock Up and Ride programme got the kids cycling, it's actually got the adults and the parents cycling, and the other people involved with the group cycling as well. So it's more than just giving a kid a bike, it's got such more impact than that.
I love it, it's so fun, and it's a great way to see wildlife and have a breath of nature. My mum especially, she's learned how to ride her bike from here.
Massive part for us was making sure that actually we get more people on bikes, and there's no better way than doing that by getting people's parents or families involved in lead rides.
And they're doing it in a way that's fun and enjoyable. It's not overly competitive, they're not having to do racing all the time, it's just cycling for cycling and cycling for fun, and I think that's a massive way that we can try and keep girls in the sport.
It was really amazing moments, because when she started she even don't know how to do it, but you people really work very hard, especially a girl was with her all the time. When she finished the first day and she told me, "Mom, I can do it," and really it was the happiest moment of my life.
Oh, it means the world to our community. It's absolutely brilliant to be able to provide these kids free bikes and actually teach them how to go them and do like the cool tricks that Neil's been teaching them. It's been really good for our community, and it has actually helped more of the community come together and get more kids access to bikes, so it's been absolutely brilliant.
So the feedback's been phenomenal, and they're absolutely buzzing to be getting their own bikes in the future. Rock Up and Ride.
Rock Up and Ride.
Rock Up and Ride.
Rock Up and Ride.
Rock Up and Ride sessions with Scottish Cycling.
And I call our all riders in the men's points race over to the back straight, where we will begin get the race underway. 120 laps of race, 30 kilometres in this men's points race, Scottish Championship.
We'll be underway very soon with our men's points race. Just on the far right of your screen just now, you can see some riders gathering. They're being briefed by the starter, who's just reminding them of the rules and almost certainly encouraging them to look after each other when they're out there. They're also checking that they have all the riders that they expect to have. Because if a rider hasn't arrived, that will mess things up for the judges up in the box who are keeping track of what's going on, so they need to know who they've actually got on the start line. So you can see somebody just on the right of the screen looking at people's numbers, taking a note of who's there, and once they know they've got everyone they expect to have, they'll allow the riders to gather on the ramp down there at the back straight, and then they'll be up on the track and underway. This is a 30-kilometre race, so they'll be out there for 120 laps. It's a points race, so there are sprints every 10 laps where they'll be awarded points. The first person over the line will receive 5 points. Second, third and fourth place will receive 3, 2 and 1 points, except for the final sprint where the available points are doubled. So 10, 6, 4 and 2. If you lap the field, you will receive an additional 20 points. And if you are lapped by the field, you will lose 20 points. There are 17 riders on the start sheet. And from where I'm standing, it looks like there are 17 riders being briefed by the commissaires. So this will be a rolling start, so they'll assemble on the back straight. They'll be set off at a easy pace, and when they cross the start-finish line for the first time, the starter will fire a gun and the race will be underway, and the 120 laps will be counted from that point. So a mix of junior riders and more experienced senior riders out there. And the starter's about to fire his gun. So we are underway. 120 laps to go. Sitting at the front there is rider 31, Rhys Edwards, one of our junior riders. He's just pulled up. The race is now being led by rider 105, Callum 12s, who you saw earlier on taking the gold medal in the men's individual pursuit. So he's already got a race in his legs today. A lot of these riders, this is their first time racing today. Callum's a really strong young light rider with a real ability to recover, though, so the fact that he's already won a medal today won't be counted against him, I wouldn't have thought. So that was Keir Gaffney at the front. He's pulling up. This now looks like Jason Roberts is now leading out this strung out bunch. He pulls up, followed by Sammy Edgar pulling up as well. That slowed things right down. No one taking full turns in the front. Half a lap has been the most anyone's taken, and most people have declined the offer to sit in the wind. And that has the effect of really slowing things down, which you would expect. They've got a long way to go before the end of this race, although they only have 4 laps left till they take the bell for the first time, so they'll be starting to think about that first sprint. Slowed right down. Nobody wants to be the first one to do the work as they go into the first sprint. This is Aaron Dick coming to the front here. You wouldn't bet against him deciding to go long, and he's not slowing down at all. And they don't seem to be chasing him. If he looks over his shoulder, he'll see he's got quite a big gap, which he's certainly capable of holding for 2 laps. Matty Dobbins there, that's the first time we've seen him at the front. He's the reigning champion. I think he's noticed there's a bit of a threat, and he's staying out there trying to hunt down Aaron Dick. Apologies, that's not Aaron Dick in the front, it's Finn McHenry. Same kit. Now that the bunch is really pushing on, though, they are closing him down really quickly. This looks like Matty Dobbins is just going to come past them on the line, closely followed by Keir Gaffney, Connell Davidson, Callum 12s. Philip Campbell looking like 4th place there rather than Callum 12s. So they have decided to push on a little bit. There's a little bit of a gap there, opened up. But so that first sprint, Matty Dobbins was first over the line, then Keir Gaffney, then Connell Davidson, then Callum 12's taking the last of the points. And the bunch is largely together, a little bit of a gap back, which Connell Davidson closes up there. So the race was a little bit strung out there with someone off the back. I couldn't see his number. That was 83, Fergus Robinson, but he's back in the bunch there. Fergus also competing in the individual pursuit earlier on. All starting to look at each other. Ryder So nobody committing to any kind of attack at this point. The riders, most of these riders know each other pretty well, but I think they'll want to test each other out for a few sprints before anyone decides to really try and do any damage. So Rhys Edwards now goes to the front. He'll be tempted to stay there, see if he can stay at the front for 2 laps. No, he's pulled up. Let Callum 12's come through, but Callum's immediately sat up as well, as has Aaron Dick. That looks like Andy Brown at the bottom out his saddle, putting in a bit of work. We've got an attack here from one of the TCA riders. Who's that? That's 26. I think that is Aaron Dick, closely followed by Keir Gaffney and Matty Dobbins. Then a little bit of a gap back to Andy Brown and Callum 12's. So let's say they decide to keep on. So Matty Dobbins looks like he might be keeping going. Nope, he's decided to sit back there. So Aaron Dick first over the line there with 5 points. Then Keir Gaffney, then Matty Dobbins, and then Andy Brown. So your race is now all together, together as a bunch, just coming under the scoreboard with a couple of trailing riders. Oh, look, bit of action at the front here. Aaron King having a push off the front. Again, Matty Dobbins is the one to start to chase it down. Oh no, they seem to be letting him go. I think Aaron King has noticed that they're not really putting in the effort to catch him. Again, Connell Davidson swings up there, leaves it to Liam Scott Douglas, and nobody really fancies it. So let's just put a clock on this. That's 41. 40. So he's got nearly 5 seconds. He looks pretty comfortable, and this bunch is not organised at all in chasing him. 4 laps till the next sprint. If they don't do something soon, he's going to ride away with this. And so that looks like rider 83, Fergus Robinson, loses a lap at 94 laps to go. So Aaron King now has 6 seconds on the bunch. He's putting time into them. It's going to be half a lap soon. Rider 71, Finn McHenry, who we saw off the front for a while earlier on, loses a lap and joins on the back of the bunch. So that's a pretty clear half a lap that Aaron King now has. As he takes the bell, this next sprint is absolutely going to be his. But if the bunch doesn't get their act together soon, he's going to come round and lap them, which will put him really comfortably in the lead. I don't think the bunch even know they're sprinting. So Aaron Dick goes off the front, closely followed by Sammy Edgar. That looks like Callum 12s is going to come round and take the 4th place. So Aaron Dick, second over the line. Sammy Edgar, third. Sammy and Aaron look over their shoulder. Are they going to keep going? Not sure they are. And 57 gains a lap after that first sprint. So Aaron King straight into first place with 5 points for winning a sprint and 20 points for lapping the field. And he really didn't do a lot of work there. Not to say the chap's not a talented rider. He is. He worked really, really hard, but the bunch were really disorganised and they gave him that cheap. Which is really dangerous because he's now sitting back in that bunch. He's feeling pretty comfortable. He hasn't burnt all his matches in getting there. It's slowed back down and he's going to have recovered within a few laps. So the bunch is all together, just at turn 2 there. We've had a rider retire there. That looks like rider 71, Finn McHenry. Looked really, really strong in the first few laps and then was lapped quite quickly. So I wonder if something's gone wrong for him, just in terms of how he feels or something with his bike. So Liam Scott Douglas there, swinging up right in the middle of the home straight. Really nobody wants to take any sort of time in the front. Matty Dobbins out of his saddle there for a little bit, but didn't seem to fancy it. So Callum 12's really strong rider on the front. Could quite easily actually just ride off the front of the bunch, but has taken himself up the track. Looks like he's just trying to bring the pace up a little bit. He'll fancy it. He'll fancy it being sore for everyone else, so bringing the pace up is good for him. Aaron King, yet again, rides off the front there. They're about to take the bell. Who's that with him? That looks like Daniel Cutler with him there, and Jason Roberts in 3rd place. Kyle Johnson in 4th, closely followed by Connell Davison. A little bit of a gap back to Sammy Edgar. So Aaron King takes another 5 points. This is really puts him in a great position. Those 5 riders could probably have gone on, but they decided not to. They're going to just sit back into the bunch. Bunch is now a bit more strung out than it's been. So there goes Callum 12s, pushing himself right off the front. Liam Scott Douglas saw that and was right on him. Aaron Dick sees the danger and has decided to throw himself into chasing. And that has strung the bunch out. So the bunches, they don't fancy letting Callum and Liam go away. So rider 83 has lost a 2nd lap. It looks like we're about to have another rider come off the track with a mechanical. That's rider 56, Kyle Johnson. Let's just wait and see if Kyle decides to try and get somebody with a spanner up to give him a hand. The riders, he'll be giving some laps out. Yep, he's trying to fix. So I can see Kyle Johnson, somebody's just handed him a spanner. It looks like he's What's he doing? Oh, his seat's gone down. His seat's tipped forward. So he's trying to fix his seat. So he'll be given 5 laps to try and get back out. Meanwhile, the bunch is just coming into home straight yet again. Callum 12s goes away again. This is a boy who can repeatedly work hard and recover. The chase is being led by Matty Dobbins and Keir Gaffney. What this has done is it's split the race in 2. So 3 pretty clear groups out the track now. We have the solo rider, Callum 12s, who's out the front, then a gap back to a organised bunch, and then a bit of a longer gap back to a strung out group. So that's rider 83 abandoning. Rider 12, that is abandoning there, Philip Campbell. Rider 83, Fergus Robinson, has abandoned, and rider 56, Kyle Johnson, has got his kit fixed and is back on the track, but there's a pretty substantial gap to the back to the bunch. Just looking down there, I can see rider 29, Sammy Edgar, abandoning. So we've lost a good half a dozen riders or so. Rider 21 there, Daniel Cutler, who took some points earlier on, being lapped. Liam Scott Douglas out on his own at the front. Doesn't fancy it and rejoins the bunch quite sensibly.
Just a small change in the commentary box as we are halfway through this men's 30-kilometre points race. Aaron King's currently got a lead of 20 points over Matty Dobbins. That's a lap's worth of a lead, so excellent from Aaron early on in this race. Reese Edwards currently leading the way in that bunch. Just 6 sprints remaining, 60 points up for grabs, halfway through 30 kilometres raced. It's so important to keep disciplined in these sprints. Make sure you do not lose the wheel to the group in front. It's a pretty gruelling effort this. So we come into the sprint lap. You see Daniel Cutler, who's lost 20 points for losing a lap there. Keir Gaffney just coming round the top there as we enter into the home straight, and it looks like he will take the 5 points. Ooh, I think that's going to be quite tight. I think it was Matty Dobbins actually that took the 5 points from Keir Gaffney. Liam Scott Douglas taking the 2, and Alexander McLeod taking the 1. Alexander McLeod looking very strong there in the front, and he looks like he's got quite a big gap actually, the young D-side rider. He started off track racing at Caird Park in Dundee, pretty popular first place to start racing. Aaron King there just on his wheel. This is a really sensible move from Aaron, just marking the moves. He's got the advantage. He doesn't want anyone to get a lap without him getting a lap. Although it does look like Keir Gaffney's putting a big effort to close the gap between the chasers and the break. A lot of riders marking moves. We've seen 6 sprints so far. We know the lay of the land. A lot of riders needing to take laps now or be very successful in the upcoming sprints if they're going to get a medal. So we see, just a recap, Aaron is on 30 points, Matty Dobbins is in second on 15, Keir Gaffney's on 11, Aaron Dick's on 8, and Liam Scott Douglas is in 5th place on 6 points. Just hit the 20-minute mark here in this men's 30-kilometre points race. Rhys Edwards now, the latest one to put a move in. I think that's Aaron Dick in his wheel. Rhys Edwards had a pretty strong last few weeks. He had a really strong outing at the National Hill Climb Championships down south. He was 12 overall. I think it was on the struggle in England. That was a very good effort. Much different this, the points race to the hill climb, of course. Very different disciplines. No one wanting to take up the front right now. As we see another attack, that's a very good move. Callum 12s, he won the 4-kilometre pursuit earlier, and now he is going again. That's it. Aaron King is having to chase this one down. 1 lap to go to the sprint lap. Can King chase him down? He is closing the gap. It's only about 2 bike lengths now. Aaron Dick also on his wheel. Aaron King's going to wait to come around the top here. Is it to claim another 5 points? Yes, it is. That is a huge 5 points for Aaron. And the 3 of them look like they're going to keep on going. Rhys Edwards got the 1 point there. He's chasing them down. It's kind of in a bit of a potato chase between him and the leaders. Aaron Dick leading on over from Aaron King. Callum 12's there just in 3rd place as they've just switched positions. Rhys Edwards has given up the chase there. He's paying for those efforts. Looks like the race is fragmenting as it always does in these championship races. Championship point races always one of those frantic 30 kilometres. It's a very long effort. Looking like a best part of 40 minutes out there. But my idea of fun, don't know about you. But as we see, that lead group is now swelled to 5. Keir Gaffney, Alexander McLeod both joining in. 12's just coming to the back of that group there in the kit of his Spanish team. Just to go through that group again, it's Alexander McLeod in the D-side colours, Keir Gaffney from Spokes, Aaron King from Wheelbase Cabtech Castelli, Callum 12's and Aaron Dick from the Cycling Academy. The points have changed somewhat, and Aaron King retains his 20-point lead out front from Matty Dobbins. Keir Gaffney is on 11 points, 4 points behind Matty Dobbins. Aaron Dick's in 4th, just a point further back, and Callum 12's is on 8. It's going to be a very tight battle for that silver medal at the minute, unless one of them can gain a lap, as Aaron King has that 20-point advantage. It's a fantastic advantage to have at this point in the race, as Andy Brown is the latest rider to lose 20 for losing a lap. King was part of the Scotland team at the Rutland Melton Cycle Classic. If you're watching on YouTube, then after this I suggest you check out the behind the scenes backstage pass from that day. It was grim and it was very wet. Much nicer today inside this Sir Chris Hoy velodrome. As we see on the feed, Aaron Dick's just leading through as we come into turn 3 and 4. Pulls up with Alexander McLeod pulling up as well as we hear the bell, and there's sprint number 7. So sprint number 8, sorry. Callum 12s comes to the top of Gaffney. Is anyone going to chase this down? I think he's going to pick up 5 points here. He looks like he's going to pick up 5. Yes, he will do. And Aaron King got the 3, and I think Dick got the 2, and Gaffney got the 1. So that does change things in the hunt for the medals. Callum 12's just putting himself a little bit further up there. Excellent team of timers are just trying to work out the standings. Rhys Edwards, the latest rider to lose a lap, minus 20 points for him after a really strong effort early on. So we see Callum 12s is really keen to put his foot on the accelerator, keep it going, make sure they can gain as much of an advantage and whittle this group of leaders down to 5. These medal contenders, Aaron King's happy to let him do so. He's got that big lead. It's 18 points now. Sorry, still have 20 points. He's we'll get the updated standings in a minute. There we go. It's a 23-point lead for Aaron King. 38 points from Matty Dobbins on 15. Callum 12s moves up to 3rd on 13, and then it's Alexander McLeod and Aaron Dick on 12. The battle for the silver medal is looking very, very tight, but it's going to take something special to dislodge Aaron King in these final 35 laps. Just under 9 kilometres left of this 30-kilometre open points race. See that group at the front swelling. There's a couple of lap riders who managed to hitch themselves on, including Rhys Edwards. And I can't quite tell who that is. I think it's one of the Vanelli riders. Just see Connell Davidson pulling up. Fair effort. Don't blame him. Nearly 100 laps of racing. Just see there Aaron King leading them through. 3 laps to go to the next sprint. It's going to be very tight. Aaron King just needs to keep on sticking, just needs to keep this group together, and he will be the open 30-kilometre points race champion. It's a pretty simple equation. Don't get lapped. Mark the moves. Just be sensible. Callum 12s needs to attack. He needs to push the envelope. He needs to gain a massive a massive points deficit to King if he wants to get the gold. If he wants to get the silver, he needs to outscore his fellow escapees in this group. You just look at the first 5 riders in that group. Those are the 5 riders that are leading this race. They are your 5 leaders in this points race. And Callum 12s takes another 5 points, and Aaron King takes 2nd, Alexander McLeod 3rd, and I think that was Aaron Dick who took 4th place. 5, 3, 2 and 1 points respectively. And Aaron King, again, that gap of 23 points to Callum 12s. This is perfect so far for Aaron King. He has ridden this race perfectly. He gained that lap early on. He has the large advantage over his rivals. He just needs to mark these moves and he will win. There is only 20 points available in the next 3 sprints. 5 in the next sprint, 5 in the sprint after that, and of course double on the line. So as long as he stays on the lead lap, mathematically now he is secure of the national title. He just needs to mark the moves and be sensible. He currently leads through with 27 laps to go. Callum 12s comes over the top to launch another attack. He's ridden this well. He's got 2 4K pursuits in the legs from earlier, 2 very hard pursuits as well. He's pushed hard to win that gold. He's trying to defend this title that he won 12 months ago. and it's going to be an uphill task from here, but he can still get the silver. He's in silver medal position. He's 5 clear of his nearest challenger, and he goes yet again. It's an excellent ride by 12s, and he's got a little bit of a gap here. He's got no one to chase. Dobbins just there at the top of the track. Sorry, I do have to correct myself there. Callum 12's won the scratch race rather than the points race. It was Matty Dobbins that won the points race 12 months ago. But Callum 12's has this advantage. Aaron King needs to chase this down. He cannot afford he cannot afford for 12s to gain a lap, because 12 gains a lap. 12 gains a lap and wins a sprint. He takes the lead in this open 30-kilometre points race. .22 laps to go. Aaron King is just being sensible. He's just chasing this down. He's doing what he has to. He might pick up some points as a byproduct of this chase as well, just to take the points off the table and make his consolidate his position at the top of the leaderboard. That's a lot of work from 12s. This is a big gamble. If it pays off, he could be in gold medal contention. If it doesn't pay off, he might be struggling to hold on to his silver or even hold on to a bronze medal. Aaron King has displaced the chasers, so there's a gap. There's a gap between King and Gaffney, between second and third. 12s looks like he can gain all 5 points here, which would consolidate his silver medal position and cut into Aaron King's lead. And that's a great 5 points for Callum 12s. Keir Gaffney takes the 3, Alexander McLeod the 2, and Aaron Dick the 1. That gap's cut to 18 points now, but only 15 to play for, and it looks like they're going to come back together. It was a lot of work for 5 points, unfortunately, for 12s, but he did a really great job there, really forcing this race and making sure Aaron King is not having an easy go of it in these closing stages of this 30-kilometre points race. It's an 8-point deficit between 12s and Gaffney in the battle for the silver medal position. Again, this changes things somewhat. He is struggling at the back of that group. He is paying for that huge effort that he put in over the last 10 laps. But he needs to stay in this group. He needs to just keep on scoring in order to pick up the points to claim a silver medal. Aaron King just needs to stay on this lap now. He does not need to score. If he stays on this lap, he will become national champion. Keir Gaffney and Aaron King are in a ding-dong battle for that bronze medal at the minute. There's only a point between them. They're on 15 and 14 points respectively. Alexander McLeod needs to start attacking to score points. He's 10 points behind Aaron King in 5th place, and he really needs to win the final 2 sprints realistically to gain a medal and fling himself into medal contention. Laps to go. Just 14 laps of this 120 lap points race. There's only 6 riders left on the track because there's only 5 riders really left in contention for the medals. It has been a grueling 30 kilometres of racing. Grueling 25 kilometres of racing so far. It'll be really interesting to see what can happen in this final stage. Will there be a twist in the tail? Will King hold on to take the gold medal? Will 12s hold on to take the silver? He's pushing the envelope once again. It's another attack. How he's got anything left in the legs after those 2 4K pursuits, the numerous attacks in the closing stages of this race is absolutely unknown. What an effort today. They're all together. Lap and a half to go until we enter this fight, this penultimate sprint. 5 points available here. 12s on the front. King chasing him. McLeod in 3rd. Gaffney is in 5th with Aaron Dick between. It's very tight, half a lap to go here. 12s just needs to get 5 points here to consolidate his position in silver medal position. And he's gained 5 points from King in second, and it's a very tight battle for third. There was anyone, if 3 riders could have got third there. We think Keir Gaffney has got third and Aaron Dick has got 1. If these riders have anything left, they realistically have to go now. They have to attack and attack to try and gain a lap. That's what they want to do. Our excellent timekeepers and photo finish staff in the gantry above me are just working out who picked up points there. Aaron King sits on the front in the meanwhile. He's doing what he needs to win this points race title. Just to confirm, Aaron King got 3 points there, Keir Gaffney got 2, and Aaron Dick got the 1. So at the minute, Aaron King has 44 points from Callum 12's 28. Keir Gaffney's on 17, Aaron Dick's on 15, and Alexander McLeod is on 4. So it's really, really a battle for that bronze medal between Keir Gaffney and Aaron Dick. Whoever finishes the highest of the two will take, in most likelihood, take that bronze medal. Callum 12's is not mathematically ruled out of a medal. Ruled out of losing his silver medal position, but he is quite likely to hold on to silver. Aaron King, he's doing what he needs to. He's just staying at the back of that bunch, and he's doing what he needs to just to keep in that gold medal position. We can see Matty Dobbins, the reigning champion, has put in a last-ditch attack. He gained some points here. He might be able to get himself into the medal contention, but he needs to win the sprint as well, so it's an uphill task. Matty Dobbins picking up the 10 points here, be perfect for Callum 12's to take the silver medal. Aaron King, he looks secure. He is going to be, touchwood, your new open 30km points race champion. Alexander McLeod sitting on his wheel. He's put in a very good effort today. He's going to need something big to happen to change his position from 5th place. Callum 12's once again hits the front of that chase group. But it looks like Matty Dobbins is going to take the 10 points. That's perfect for what he needs. He will, with that takes the 10 points off the table. He cannot be caught at the top of the in the 2nd place position in the timing. So we hear the bell. It's your final lap of this 30km points race. They've done 29.75 kilometres. What's 250 more metres? Here they are, and it is an excellent ride from Matty Dobbins to take the sprint. Gaffney and Dick are running it out for the bronze medal. Dick looks like he's going to take it. Will it be Gaffney? Is it going to be Gaffney? This is really tight in the line. I think Aaron Dick just got that. It's 6 points for Aaron Dick. Keir Gaffney takes the 4. Aaron King takes the 2. Aaron King is your new national champion. We knew that already. Callum 12 takes your silver medal. Who takes the bronze medal? We are looking at the timing sheets. We are trying to wait for the big screen to come up. Trying to see who's won it in the... We're trying to wait to see who has won the bronze medal. We've just confirmed that sprint results. It's 10, 6 and 4 and 2 for Dobbins, Dick, Gaffney and King respectively. And that means Aaron Dick takes the bronze medal on countback, 21 points apiece. It was very tight. We didn't know which way it was going to go, but Aaron Dick does just enough to take the bronze medal. What a fantastic men's 30km points race. We have the 10km scratch race coming up next, and well, that's got a lot to do to live up to that. Just to confirm your medalists, Aaron King is your new national points race champion, representing Wheelbase Cabtech Castelli. Callum 12's is your silver medalist, after winning the gold medal earlier in the individual pursuit, and Aaron King of the Cycling Academy takes the bronze medal. Keir Gaffney is in 4th, with Matty Dobbins taking 5th place after winning the final sprint there. He just usurps Alexander McLeod, who's in 6th place. Oh, I think I need to sit down after that. just whilst we have the small interlude in the racing, tickets are on sale for racing tomorrow. We are starting from 9:45 and racing all the way through to 6 o'clock. Will be including the men's points race, the female points race, and the men's scratch race. There will be the men's Keirin, the female sprint, and plenty more racing across the day. Tickets are £3 and you can buy them on the Scottish Cycling website, scottishcycling.org.uk, and just look for news, and then there should be an article with the guide on everything that's happening. You just see the riders in the back straight getting ready for this female 10km scratch race. Bella Butler in second place there from Glasgow Track Racing Club. Ailey Shaw, who is the National Road Race and Criterium Champion, representing Alba Development Team on the start list. Millie Thompson from Deeside Thistle, who won the Team Pursuit earlier. Miriam Gilbride of University of Glasgow as well, just there second from the rear. If you're unsure what the difference is between the scratch race and the points race has sprints every 10 laps. You can gain or lose 20 points for gaining or losing a lap. Whereas the scratch race is first across the line. First across the line wins. It's 10 kilometres, which is 40 laps. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So we see Victoria Smith just on the blue, coming around the top there of the main field. We'll just wait for the starter to start the race officially, which he should do here, and he does. 10 kilometres of racing. There's no sprints in between, no preams, nothing like that, and we'll go straight in with the two Alba Development riders taking it from the front. Ailey Shaw at the minute, just taking up from the front, making sure she wants to set hard pace. She's had a very busy racing programme over the last few days. She's racing the team sprint, the individual pursuit last night, team pursuit this morning for University of Glasgow, and as well as the scratch race this evening. I think we'll expect to see her in the points race as well tomorrow. Victoria Smith won the gold in individual pursuit last night, narrowly beating Shaw in that final. Very tight. Shaw did start quicker, but Shaw came back and recouped the deficit and consolidated her lead in the final stages. And we see Ailey Shaw with a sizable advantage at the front of the race. She has about 80 metres or so on Victoria Smith, with Bella Butler on her wheel, the Glasgow Track Racing Club rider. Shaw's not messing around here, wanting to get the lap quickly to make sure this is a done deal, not wanting to leave it to chance. Miriam Gilbride sitting on the front, chasing that down with Bella Butler. Victoria Smith just sitting at the back of that group, not having to do any work. Cordon little entente between the two. to ensure that they aren't chasing each other down. It isn't in the rules to work together as a team in track bunch racing, unlike road racing. However, riders can almost sign the non-aggression pact, if you will. Shaw has a whole half lap on the field. This is a really good move from Shaw. She has gained a sizable advantage. Bella Butler, who is shifted from being a track sprinter into an endurance rider, she is on the front of that main group, just pulling up now. Shaw crosses the line, 27 laps for her to go. Marion Gilbride sitting on the front of that group. If you are enjoying the coverage, please give us a follow. Send your feedback to @ScottishCycling on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, anywhere really. Ailey Shaw has gained the best part of a lap now, about 200 metres she's gained. She's nearly gained the full lap. This has been a great move from Ailey Shaw. If she can gain the lap here, then she's going to set herself up very nicely. We've seen in the points race the advantage that the advantage that Aaron King gained by gaining that early lap. It'd be the same for Shaw here, and she does just enough there. She has gained a lap. She's the advantage, and one Alba. It's one in, one out. One Alba rider joins the field, and another goes off the front. Victoria Smith now goes. This is a smart move. Obviously been some discussion beforehand from the Alba riders. Bella Butler getting on terms with Victoria Smith. World's fastest press officer. Ailey Shaw chasing that one down, not happy at two riders gaining a lap. She's just doing enough there to nullify that attack. We are halfway through, just under halfway through this 10-kilometre scratch race. Victoria Smith just sitting at the front. Bella Butler now takes it up. No one really wanting to take an attack right now. Ailey Shaw just keeping it that constant tempo in the front. Again, just marking the moves, marshalling the race, doing what she needs to win this national title, to add to her road and criterium titles won earlier this year. Road race was similar fashion, where she was very aggressive during the race. Ended up coming down to a sprint though, where she did have to win it in the sprint. Much less stressful, being a lap up early on. 19 laps to go of this female 10-kilometre scratch race. Remember to get involved in the action. Tag us in your posts at Scottish Cycling. Use the hashtag SCNATChamps. That's SCNATCHAMPS. If you're in the velodrome or you're enjoying it at home or wherever you are, We'll be on air from 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Packed programme of racing for you to look forward to, as these national champs will come to a conclusion. 2 Alba development riders sitting at the front, Victoria Smith and Ailey Shaw, Bella Butler in third. William Gilbride at the back of this group. Jude Patterson is now coming up to the front, RT23, in that, wearing that, riding with that white disc wheel, very distinctive. Janet Clapton of Glasgow Gilmarnock Wheelers is at the back of that group as well. We're running a bit ahead of schedule this evening with the open sprint ending up finishing in 2 rather than 3 finals, and a slightly shorter Keirin programme than expected. And Ailey Shaw again off the front. Why have 1 lap when you can have 2, eh? 12 laps to go. Victoria Smith comes over the top of Bella Butler and Miriam Gilbride, and now this is the move that Alba want. They want to have these 2 riders up the road, out of the way, to take the gold and the silver. Bella Butler is not keen on that happening. She is chasing these 2 down, using that track sprinting nous to chase down the 2 leaders. And that attack is very well, has been snuffed out, with Jude Patterson just behind and Miriam Gilbride. They're just about 20 metres behind. They can get back on terms here. This could be important for deciding where the silver and bronze medals will go. That's the breakaway has just extended his advantage there. It was holding at that 20 metres deficit, but it looks like it's gone out to about 30 or 40 metres now. This is a good move for Bella Butler to attach herself to. 2.25 kilometres of racing to go, 9 laps, less than that now, only 8.5. And we see Ailey Shaw, who is a lap ahead if you're just joining us. She is leading this female 10 kilometre scratch race. Bella Butler is in second, with Victoria Smith in third, as they look like that might have been snuffed out by Jude Patterson and Miriam Gilbride. If they have done, that would be very good for the two riders who are chasing, representing RT23 and the University of Glasgow Cycling Club, respectively. Miriam Gilbride's another one who's had a busy racing schedule, the team pursuit and the team sprint as well. Herself and Ailey Shaw, teammates in the team events, representing her university. Jude Patterson now takes up the front, and it's going to be it's been very good riding from Bella Butler, from Jude Patterson, from Miriam Gilbride to nullify any attacks from Alba, any further attacks from Alba, to ensure that the silver medal is still up for grabs. It's going to come down to a sprint unless someone can do something special in these final 5 laps. Ailey Shaw being sensible, second wheel, almost acting as a bit of a blocker for her teammate there, in case there was an attack that was coming. Bella Butler. Just hearing there that Ailey Shaw received a warning from the commissaires for riding on the blue band. Sensible thing here to do for Ailey Shaw is just to stay at the back of this group. Do not get involved. You have won this national title. As long as you stay upright, as long as you stay on the lead lap, you will win this national title. Jude Patterson is in the lead of this group, which is second place on the road. And then we see Bella Butler in second place in this group. Miriam Gilbride's just coming down the bottom of the track. Could this be a bit of a sensible attack here? Last minute attack? No, thought better of it. Bella Butler entering into this last 2 laps. Jude Patterson comes around the inside of the track. She has opened up the sprint for this silver medal. Victoria Smith looks like she is out of contention here unless they can come back. This is going to be a really tight battle for silver between Bella Butler, between Jude Patterson. Bella Butler comes from the top as we enter into this final lap. She is leading out. Can she take the silver medal? It looks like she will. Has anyone got anything left? Ailey Shaw doesn't need to sprint. She will be national champion. Bella Butler takes the silver medal. Ailey Shaw is the new Strax Race champion after an excellent early attack. She's done exactly what she needed to. She marked the moves. No one else gained a lap. She's your new national champion. Jude Patterson takes the bronze medal after some very, very strong riding, and that concludes a fantastic evening of racing. Fantastic afternoon, day of racing on day 2 of the Scottish National Track Champs. If you've enjoyed the racing so far, stick around. We still have some podium presentations, and we'll speak to some of the key protagonists of the day. But that was a very exciting end to the day's racing.
So Women in Wales is a women's community cycling hub for women, run by women. It was set up about 18 months ago by myself, and basically there was a need in the community. We teamed up with Rock Up and Ride earlier on this year in March time, who provided us with equipment, containers, bikes, locks, lights, etc. And that allowed us to be able to launch to families. So we're still working with women, but we're now able to work with their kids as well and get whole families cycling.
I love it, it's so fun, and it's a great way to see wildlife and have a breath of nature. My mum especially, she's learned how to ride her bike from here, and my sister also, she's gained confidence from here as well, because she's had a little accident, but now they've helped her and she's able to ride her bike again.
We break down women's barriers to cycling for physical health, mental health, as a mode of transport, and for the joy of it. We want to share that joy with lots of other families.
You know, it can be quite daunting, like cycling through the city centre. I was even telling Ailey the other day I want to get my own bike, but my confidence is still not there yet, so I'm hoping cycling with Ailey is going to help that. I always look forward to them on Tuesdays because I feel like it's a way I can like relax, because like biking is almost like therapy for me.
Congratulations to our Tandem medalists. And now to our points. Scottish champions. We've got bronze, Aaron Dick. Prizes again awarded by Colin Edgar for the first. And in silver, we have Callum 12s. And your Scottish points race champion, Aaron King.
Well done. Thank you.
Well done to our points race medalists.
Okay, we now move next on to our next podium ceremony as we see the games presented for the men's sprint. A great day of racing that we had. So in third place, please welcome to the podium, representing SCS Racing, Ryan Labour. Great day of racing for Ryan. Full kilometre in the pursuit. And then in silver medal, representing Glasgow Track Racing Club, William Monday. Okay, and your 2023 Scottish Championship men's sprint winner. He took a championship record on his way to this victory today. It's 500 metre. Lyle Ray. Lyle winning his second title so far on the weekend. He took the steam sprint last night and he now takes the sprint tonight. Now we have Keirin in the pool tomorrow.
We jump up together. Do you mind? Let's do the 10. Let's break one.
Great sprint racing today across all races and group finishes and riders. Congratulations to our medalists. And now we move on to our final racing today. It was a fantastic sprint that we saw in this women's 10 kilometre scratch race. In third place, representing RT23, Jude Patterson.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And in second place, representing Glasgow Track Racing Club with a fantastic sprint in those last two laps, Gabriella Butler. And now we go into our winner, our final winner of the day. She took a lap, she absolutely dominated the field. Give it up for representing Alba RT development, Hayley Shaw.
Coming up. Right. Yeah, definitely.
Give it up for your women's scratch podium. That concludes day 2 at this year's Scottish Championship, Track Championships in 2023. We've had a great day of racing from sprints to team pursuits. Thanks again to all the volunteers and commissaires for giving up their time to help throughout this weekend. And we will see you back tomorrow in the morning between around 9:45 for our racing that begins then. We have another great day of racing lined up. Thank you very much. watched it tomorrow?
Was actually today will be